And what did they say? Those stupid TV commercials. You know, I'm like, they're not dumb. They're funny, dude. It's a spoof. They're not from here, Mike. They don't get the culture. Thursday night football is looking to be a good one.
That's right.
You know, you got the Commanders and you got Green Bay going at it. Should be a good offering. You know, Thursday night football gets a lot of flack, right? Because people are like, these games suck. Well, you got a good one on the docket.
Well, in seasons past, they have.
Yeah, no, they have. There was some stinkers, man. Remember they had back-to-back. Was it? I forgot what team it was that they kept putting up there, and everybody was like, I think it was the Panthers, and they were like, yawn. You know, it was boring. But you know what's not going to be boring? The new supporter section they're putting up, you know, over there at the Frost Center. Now, I was talking to you about
Where's it going to be?
They're going to have some people divided in the lower section, some divided over in the HEB fan zone. I got reservations against this, dude. It's either going to be a gigantic hit or a big old mess because they're going to have drums and all that. And we'll get into it, but it's not a soccer game. It's an NBA game. And I think some people are going to complain.
Why can't that atmosphere exist, though?
Because I don't think people are used to what happens at soccer games. They're not used to that kind of culture. Not all of them. Some people have been exposed to it. But I think there's going to be some pushback in regards to it. So we'll see.
Wednesday, Joe.
It is. Section 114 is what Matt Gomez says.
Area 210, where the dreams don't fade. From the river walk nights to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210, oh, it's the life that we chose.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast powered by P.F. Chang's La Cantera. It is Wednesday, which means half off bottles of wine, half off bottles of champagne over at P.F. Chang's La Cantera. Go tell Sean hi. He's our guy out there. He's one of the big wigs out there at P.F. Chang's La Cantera. They power the chat. See lots of names already out there. We have a big show lined up today because I'm going to steal the phrase that Air Alamo had. Cardinal sin. Did Wemby commit the cardinal sin by going and being interviewed and saying that he believes that Kobe Bryant is greater than Tim Duncan? 3 seconds later, he's trying to reel it back in, right? But is that a cardinal sin? Should we feel bad as Spurs fans? Is that a cardinal sin against the greatest Spur of all time, who's arguably the greatest power forward of all time, in Tim Duncan? We'll get into that. There's a new Spurs section going up. Apparently, you have to be a badass with $1,000 to apply. You know, you have to be a Spurs diehard to apply and pony up almost $1,000 for it. Joe has some reservations about it.
This isn't for the peasants, man. You know, because some of these guys that dress up in their garb, you know, I'm the Spurs, you know, Superman, or I'm the Spurs Black Panther. You know, I've seen all these other costumes go up. Almost everybody from the MCU has been represented at a Spurs game at some point, you know. The luchador mask going up, you know, and I mean, these guys they can't scrape 2 pennies together to come up with $1,000. Now, don't get me wrong, they'll go to a game here and there, but telling them to fork over $1,000 to join a supporters section, that, I don't know, that just seems like a money grab from the Spurs to go ahead and wrangle more people in to sell tickets, and it's not even a season ticket. What it is
it's the right to be
first come, first serve. You might get a seat down in 114 if you get there early enough, or if you don't get there early enough, you're standing room only in the HEB fan zone.
It's about changing the culture of the fandom here in San Antonio. We'll get into that a little bit.
Put everyone together in one section, man.
We'll get into that in a little bit. Now, here's the thing also. Big name showing up at the Star in Dallas today. A former number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft is trying out for the Cowboys. And a lot of Cowboy fans out there are really excited about it. Would you be excited about Jadeveon Clowney joining the Dallas Cowboys? We have a lot to get into today, man. HEB caught a stray on the Bill Simmons podcast. We'll play that later on in the show. I mean, what the Bill Simmons podcast shooting down HEB? What was that all about? So, but Joe, right now I'm enjoying the sugar-free Big Red. Joe,
That's gross, bro.
0-calorie, sugar-free
No,
Big
that's
Red.
disgusting. That's almost as bad as Diet Mountain Dew, man. No, just drink full on Big Red, bro. F it.
Well, Chica bought this. No, man, it's all that sugar, dude. It's all that sugar.
You know what you should be drinking? You should be drinking Diet Dr. B, bro. This shit hits different, man.
Oh man, that's poor man's Dr. Pepper.
No,
man. Come on.
This is. I'll put it up against anything else. I buy it because it's good.
That's
and not
the
only
peasant's Dr. Pepper.
No,
dude.
man.
Anything
I like
from
this.
Walmart or HEB brand?
No,
man. Come on, man.
No, man. This
Chips
is good
and soda
stuff.
you shouldn't mess with, man.
No, this is good stuff, dude. Me and my niece, we love it. And she's my oldest niece, you know, and me and her both say, man, that Diet Dr. B, it hit different, bro. It hit different.
So let's get into this. Let's jump in, man, because, you know, we love the Spurs legends. David Robinson, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan with 5 rings. Tim Duncan, the number 1 overall draft pick back in the late 90s, coming in and becoming a star for the Spurs. The problem was, no matter how great he was never a superstar. And we have to agree with that, Joe, that he was a star on the basketball court, a superstar on the court, but he was not a superstar off the court. And there's been this debate because they had parallel careers. They started right around the same time. Kobe a little bit sooner than Duncan, but they ran around the same time. They won 5 championships individually, right? Kobe Bryant versus Tim Duncan. It's an age-old question, very much like, who do you got, Jordan or Kobe, or Jordan or LeBron? The question is what about the era that was the Kobe Tim Duncan era? And if you ask people in San Antonio, most of them will say that they want Duncan to be that guy because Duncan is an all-time great. Personally, I choose Duncan in that mix there because I believe Duncan is a top 5 player of all time. But I never thought Kobe to be a top 5 player of all time. I never thought he'd be a top 10 player of all time. But culturally, Kobe Bryant was a superstar. He was a superstar culturally. And that transcended not only the United States, but went over to Europe. So when Victor Wembanyama was watching basketball, do you think he was tuning in to watch the Spurs? I don't give a crap what he said on draft day. He was not sitting there to watch the Spurs. He was sitting there to watch the Lakers. He wanted to watch Kobe Bryant. So he's being interviewed. And see how he tries to reel it back in. Ask the question, who you got? All-time better player, all-time greater player, Tim Duncan or Kobe Bryant? Wemby.
The context.
What's that?
The context of this, Mike, was that Wemby went on Insta, right, to kind of have a Q&A session with the fans. But first, Wemby's like, I'm going to announce my supporters section. You have to pay $999 to join the supporters section. Puros mamadas, way.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Who cares about the Spurs section?
No, but I'm saying this is what this was all leading up to. He was talking about the supporter section, and then after that announcement, this is when he had a Q&A with the fans on Instagram, and somebody asked him, Kobe or Tim Duncan? And you want me to play his response?
It was a great question to ask. Let's play the response.
Tim Duncan or Kobe? Tough question. Probably Kobe all time. Actually, I don't know. Go bald again.
Okay.
Puros mamadas, Wemby. Come on.
So here's the thing, Joe. What do I always say about NBA players? Never believe what they say. Never believe what they say, because why? It's all politics. It is all public relations, right?
Yeah.
We got a glimpse here as to what he really thought, and then PR Wemby took over. Let's play one more time.
Tim Duncan or Kobe? Tough question. Probably Kobe all time. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
Go bald again.
You see what happened there? What happened? He was telling the truth of his personal belief, right? Man to man, he would rather have Kobe Bryant than Tim Duncan. And on the hierarchy of Jordan, LeBron, all that stuff, he has Kobe over Tim. Cardinal sin, as the fine folks at Air Alamo pointed out last night. It is a cardinal sin. You're not supposed to say that. But you know what, Joe? I'm not going to contradict myself. I am not going to be a flip-flopper, Joe. I will say that I respect this. I respect it because for once we have a player being honest, showing his true colors. I'm fine with it. As a Spurs fan, I'm not fine with it because as a Spurs fan, I would want him to believe that Tim Duncan was greater than Kobe Bryant because Tim Duncan was greater than Kobe Bryant. But the fact of the matter is, man to man, I see Victor Wembanyama talk about this, and I think to myself, he's at least being honest. He's at least being upfront with fans and talking to the fans. I'm okay with him saying it. It hurts my feelings a little bit, Joe, but I'm okay with him saying it.
Come on, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you have one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game in Tim Duncan. And you know this. And you're going to still side with Kobe? That's puros mamadas, bro. That's all I'm going to say, man. Puros mamadas, Wemby. Come on.
I look at Kobe Bryant and I ask myself the question, how many losing seasons did Tim Duncan have? Tim Duncan didn't have any. Kobe ended his career with back-to-back losing seasons. He handicapped his own team down the stretch. And Kobe got to play with Shaq, right? I mean, I know we had Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker, but Tony Parker was one of the last players chosen in the first round. Manu Ginobili was one of the last players chosen in the second round. He played with Shaq. He played with Paul Gasol. He had a lot of really good superstar players along with him. Tim didn't play with a superstar. Tim played with all-stars and future Hall of Famers, but never a superstar. And Kobe did. And Kobe had losing seasons down the stretch. Kobe's stats, by the way, suck. I don't know if you ever looked at his stats.
Here we go.
In today's modern era, Kobe was one of the most inefficient players of all time. He won chips because he was playing with Shaq, right? But look at his stats. What was he, a 43% shooter from the field? What was he from three-pointers? He was garbage. Not even I. Joe, okay. I'm going to look it up right now. Maybe I'm wrong.
And I'm the hater. Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. But we know that 36% three-point shooting is good, right? And 34% is acceptable. And anything under 32% is trash, right? We can all agree with that. 40 is a superstar. That's like Steve Kerr, Ray Allen.
A sniper.
40% is a sniper. 36% is you're really good. 34% is yeah.
34, 32. 34 to 32, yeah.
No, 32 to 34 is at least we got to put a hand up. Anything under 32 is trash.
You're going to come out and defend.
3-point shooting for a career. Kobe Bryant was a 32.9% shooter. 32.9% shooter from three, Joe, for his career. His effective field goal shooting, Joe, was 48%. He was basically Russell Westbrook with chips, Joe. Career, Joe. Not talking about the end of his life. He was a 47% 2-point shooter, Joe.
Yeah.
Why are we under this impression that Kobe Bryant was just this legend who shot the ball like Jordan or shot the ball like one of the all-time greats? He was a 47.9% 2-point shooter, a 32.9% 3-point shooter, had an effective field goal shooting range of 48.2%. I mean, he was just a volume
that Mamba
shooter.
mentality, though, when it came to the playoffs, man.
And you know what it was, Joe? He played in Los Angeles. When
the light shines the brightest, Kobe rose to the occasion, man.
If he put these stats up playing for Detroit, Denver, Indiana, no one would give two craps, dude. But he wore the gold and purple, dude. Purple and gold.
Yeah. But Kobe was clutch in playoff time, man. That's the thing that people look upon.
Yeah, it's easy to be clutch when you have Shaq bulldozing over everybody.
Oh, man.
But I'll say, but from man to man, though, he was more star because he was Hollywood. He literally was in Hollywood. And because of that, he was a bigger name. His stars shine brighter. What did we see Tim Duncan in, dude? Tim Duncan had the occasional Sprite commercial. You know, that one silly commercial with David Robinson, which I do love. The gnome is on about, not the daisies. He had HEB commercials. Kobe was runway. Kobe was Hollywood. Kobe was a superstar. And that's who Wemby wants to be. So Wemby identifies with Kobe because that's what Kobe is. Kobe is Hollywood. Hollywood is Paris. Paris is Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that he said it. It hurts my feelings a bit. But if it's fact, I cannot be a hypocrite and say that I don't want to hear the players say this. I want them to speak their truth. Whenever we hear players like say, "Oh, I want to be in San Antonio my entire career," and fans get all excited, warm and fuzzy, like it's like Linus with a blanket.
To Mohan with that talk.
Joe, to be honest with you, half the time you speak to me in Spanish, I don't know what the hell you're saying, Joe.
Well, good, because you're Coco. Puro Coco.
I'm over here with Google Translate going. No, I know,
I'm
but
fluent in Spanish, man.
It throws me off. It throws me off.
It's all right, man. I'm fluent in Spanish, bro. I had to read and write it growing up because my grandma needed me to read and write and all that kind of stuff. Letters to her brothers, sisters, and stuff like that. So I mean, I learned it at a young age.
My mommy and daddy told me that they wanted me to learn Spanish now, but back then they wanted me to be quote unquote successful. So they said you speak predominantly English. My family is like that. Like the older my sisters are, the more Spanish they know, and the younger they are now to me, closer to me in age, the less that they know.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to let
me.
I wanted to let Matt Gomez know, if you're still watching, Matt. I went ahead and sent you a link via Twitter or via the X DM. So check that out if you want to join us when we're talking about the supporter section and enlighten us a little bit.
Yeah. So let's talk about the support. Well, Joe, you didn't give your impression, Joe. Was it bad form for Wemby to say what he said?
I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know, if that's his own opinion. I just said it's puro mamadas when you have one of the best power forwards to ever play the game in Tim Duncan here in your own backyard, and you're still giving the nod to Kobe. I'm sure Duncan's not going to really care here or there. He'll probably just think it's comical and funny, you know, but at the end of the day, I mean, Wemby's entitled to his own opinion. I totally get that, but you're a Spur, man. You would think you would go in the way or sway your vote to Tim Duncan, but you know, it is what it is.
Do you think he gets a talking to from the Spurs front office?
No, they're not going to do nothing. They're trying to kiss Wemby's ass, bro. Wemby's the one. Wemby wants a supporters group, you know, because he's from France and he's used to seeing everything that's going on with soccer, and also now they're going to have that too because that was Wemby's idea that he presented to the front office.
Yeah, so let's get into that. So Wemby in that Instagram live was basically talking about a new supporters group.
It was an ad, bro. It was an ad, a fucking ad that the Spurs had Wemby go out there and get the fans all excited, you know.
So the supporters section is going to cost money, $999.
Yeah.
Right. And he's inviting fans.
You can't be Poe to get in that supporter section.
Well, I mean, you can't be poor to go to the games anyway, but still, it's $999 to join. And it's basically a supporters section, and tryouts will be held on Sunday. Apparently, according to reports, Wemby came up with this idea. It's loosely based on what happens in soccer games.
Freaking tryout for what?
And he says it's a section of fans that will feature, quote, nonstop chants, drums, flags, and passion.
Are they going to have the smoke grenades too inside the arena?
Registration is from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. at the Frost Bank Center this Sunday.
Is there a fee for trying out?
I don't see the problem with it, Joe.
I don't see a problem with it, but like I said, it's either going to be a gigantic miss or a gigantic hit, you know, and there's no in between. It's going to be a lot of noise, and people are going to be beating the drums and singing and chanting and all that, and I love that because that's what happens at SAFC. The problem being, though, is that you have the other facet of fan, you know, that is going to a Spurs game and then be like, what's all that noise? You know, they're going to be of a certain age, Mike.
Well, Joe, here's the thing. I don't care. And what I mean by I don't care. What I mean is, if those fans have a problem with it, Joe, they cannot show up. Then don't show up.
But these fans are the ones that are the ones that are going to be. What do you say? Like,
no, I agree with you. They're going to be
ticket holders. They're going to be the ones that complain about everything. You know.
Well, I agree with you, Joe. And guess what? If this is what Wemby wants, this is what Wemby gets.
Exactly.
And
I
you know
mean,
what? And
I
you know
get
what,
that.
Joe? And I see what you're saying, Joe. I'm not disagreeing with you, Joe. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be a cluster F to start out. I really do. But the idea of trying to build a different type of mentality among Spurs fans
I think it's a
is
good
a
thing
big
though,
deal.
because you're moving away from the baseline bums. What do they do anyway? They're not bringing the noise.
Who
They're
were
not
they
doing
anyway?
anything.
Well,
That's old, dude.
back in the day, they were on the baseline of the Hemisphere Arena, right?
It was a
As they
different time.
It was a different time and it was a different price point for tickets, right? Now they're in the middle of nowhere, dude. They're in the middle
No
of nowhere
man's
at the
land.
Frost Bank Center. But Joe, look at what they're doing with the
We got
Clippers.
Matt Gomez on.
What they're doing at the Intuit, right? With the Clippers.
Yeah.
When Steve Ballmer is not paying Kawhi Leonard under the table, allegedly, he is trying to build an atmosphere there of pro Clipper pride by having certain sections there, Joe, where you cannot wear the opposing jersey. How many times have we gone to games, Joe, where we see people wearing Kobe jerseys or LeBron
Oh,
jerseys
every
or
time the
or
Lakers come a calling, dude. Those are the
Jerk the
same
Biscuit
Spurs
jerseys.
fans.
And then
Yeah.
they get the tickets on StubHub or SeatGeek or whatever the case may be. And you're like, you see all these jerseys, like people, they take over. You know, you have Rocket fan, Laker fan, Maverick fan, whomever,
Yeah.
right? But for them to say these sections right here belong to Spurs fans only, and not only that, diehard Spurs fans who are at 75% of the games or more, who are going to chant the entire game, stand up the entire game, bang the drum the entire game, I don't have a problem with. I think that's cool. I think there
Yeah.
should be one on each side of the court.
I don't have a problem with it either. I'm just saying the old heads will. Look, we got Matt Gomez joining us. What's up, Matt?
Matt, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Just taking a quick time from work real quick just to chime in on that whole support section part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead and chime
that-
in, man.
I just don't see it happening. I can't see the Spurs actually wanting that to happen. And like I sent you a video, Joe. Those are ultras. What Wemby is showing you in that video are ultras. Nobody
Yeah.
wants that, and the Spurs don't want that.
Describe what an ultra is. I'm not familiar with
So
that.
the ultras are basically diehard fans. They're if you're getting what an actual person who's part of an ultra, it's more like if there's a Laker fan next to me, it's like, you better shut up. If not, I'm coming after you. It's diehard fans. It's blood in, blood out fans. They're the ones who are going to be your chaos. They're the ones who are going to be your more Necio than what I am. They're your diehard Necios where they're very passionate fans, but they're willing to do anything to support their team. So, but to go back to it, the Spurs barely even let you curse at a game. If you say anything like shit, fuck, bitch, anything like that, you get in
You're
trouble
out.
for it. But
Yeah.
you're out. Exactly. Same thing at the at a CFC game. You're out. They start hounding on you. But if this is gonna be controlled by the Spurs, it's not gonna go well. The only people who are gonna be able to want to do that, if they have the money, are anyone who are Puro West Side, Puro East Side, or Puro South Side. Those are the only people who are actually down to do stuff like that. But at the same time, it's not. I just think it's not going to work because the Spurs are very constricting on what they want.
Well,
But
I
if
mean
it's what-
that's also an NBA rule as well. There's certain things that can't be screamed at.
Exactly.
It's not just a Spurs thing; it's an NBA thing. But I don't think to be a diehard fan, you need to throw curse words and expletives all the time. You know, I don't scream curse
part of
words at
being
Spurs
puro.
games. No, it's not.
It's part of it.
Yes, it is.
It
part
is
of being
part
it's
of
part
it.
of being ghetto.
It is part of it.
It's part of being ghetto.
Puro,
You don't have
puro.
you don't have to do that. There's a reason why I don't like going to NFL
So then
games.
you're saying that you're saying that everyone out in MLS who are like that, or anyone out there in Europe who are doing that, they're ghetto?
Yeah. Because the whole thing about a sports atmosphere is that it has to be a family event, right? It has to be a family event. You want to be able to take your kids there and all that stuff and be a diehard and cheer for your team. The idea that you're going to go curse out an opposing fan or you're going to yell at an opposing fan and all that stuff, I'm not down with. I mean, I understand chanting, painting your face, screaming, banging the drum, doing all that stuff. You can do all that and still have class when it comes to it all. I'm just saying. Why? Because you go to NFL games right now, right? You go to Jerry World, right? You go to Jerry World and you see people punching each other out there because they're wearing Giants gear or they're wearing Commanders gear. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand being passionate. I understand yelling. I understand cussing out a ref every once in a while. But what I don't understand is why someone would attack another fan or have to feel the need to throw expletives every other word. I don't get
Mike,
it.
you say they're classless, bro? Come on, man.
I'm just saying, dude, if you have to curse every other word and to prove your fandom, it's kind of ghetto, dude. Let's call it what it is.
Hey, well then I'm proud to be fucking ghetto, bro, because that's
I'm
the fucking point I love to do.
And I'm proud of you for backing
God,
yourself
Mike.
up.
That's
I'm proud of
probably
you for
been
backing
your
yourself
worst take that I've ever heard
It's
you
not,
say
dude.
on this show, bro. I mean, come on, bro.
It's
You've
not,
never,
dude. I'm not hurling expletives at people in the stands. Why? The hell's
because
wrong?
you know you can't back it up. That's why. You're a lover,
No.
not a fighter, brother.
Joe, you have a ticket to buy in there, Joe. A ticket to buy in there. You go there and try to start crap with other people.
You're
Come
not
on,
gonna
man.
start shit with nobody, Mike. Come on.
No,
You're
but
there to have a good
somebody tries
time.
to start shit with me. I might get back into it. I'm not going to start anything.
You're gonna point at him.
What,
You stop it. You stop it.
Joe, this is no different than saying that you want to scream at the movie at the movie screen at the movies, Joe. The idea that we're gonna have to throw. Now I understand fandom, and you throw out the occasional curse word. Like I'll give you an example. I've been at a game where I've seen a play, and I go like, "Oh my effing god!" Like that happened. I cannot believe that. Or, "Oh man, that was a bullshit call." That okay, I understand that, right? Being at a baseball game and there was a bad call by the umpire or whatever. That I understand. That's heat of the moment. You can't stop heat of the moment, right?
What is that?
You might be able.
Mike?
You might be able to police yourself. But if you're going to go into a game, any sporting event, and you're going to be like, I'm going to cuss every other word out there, and I'm going to be all because I'm being puro and necio. Dude, that's just ghetto, dude. That's just
you
ghetto.
can't. The Spurs. This is the thing that I think they don't understand.
And it's
when
not going to happen in an NBA game, Joe.
When they have supporter sections, Mike,
yeah,
they can't police those fans and tell them what to do.
Oh, they can.
They can try to control
Yeah.
them, but the problem is they
can.
can't control everyone. It's like that.
You can't control everybody.
Stop us all, man. They can't stop us all.
Joe, Spernandez was pointed out at a freaking game one time because of something that he tweeted.
Because that was his dumbass fault also.
They can police all they want because it's a controlled environment, Joe.
They can try, Mike, but they can't stop everybody.
This isn't the pitch over in Europe when you have swarms of fans coming in. Because if there are
they
swarms
can't go
of
in
fans
there and
coming
tell
in
a whole
like that,
section to stop cursing. They don't work that way.
Joe, it does
really
work that way. It does work that way.
It doesn't.
It does work that way. Joe,
promise you.
If the Spurs want to go in, if the Spurs want to march into 114, real fast. If the Spurs want to march into 114, if that's the section it's going to be at,
clear it out. Give them a refund.
They can clear it out, and they don't have to give a refund, Joe, because it is not a right to be at the Frost.
They better give me my $1,000 because I'm leaving with something. I'm leaving with something.
Dude, if you're going to try to police everybody, might as well just not do it at all. Because it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out.
You see, that's the double-edged sword there, Mike, is that they want to control the fan base, right? Hey, this is a great idea. We want to have tryouts. Why do they want to have tryouts? Because they want to be able to have some level of control. I get that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, in the heat of the moment, people are drinking. They're having a good time. Things are going to be said. Fingers are going to be thrown. Things are going to be done there. And that's where they're going to have an issue, because then they're going to say, damn, we effed up.
Well, Joe, look at the comment that Mario Cavazos put out there. It says, New York, Chicago, Philadelphia fans never cuss. One thing that he's being tongue in cheek. He's being
I
funny
know that. I'm
okay.
just saying, yeah.
There's a different dynamic between various sports, because like if you go to an NBA game, an MLB game, or you go to an NFL game, or maybe an MLS game, or some sort of. So, for example, you go to a soccer game, a football game, Man U, right? or you go to a game in Spain, or you go England, France, Germany, wherever the case may be, the hooliganism is actually expected, and it is actually part of the tradition of what's going on over there, right? You go to a football game, chances are you're going to see fights break out in the stands, because that's unfortunately 70,000 fans in the stands. It's hard to police that, right? Baseball games are more subdued, but the ones that is that's the tightest, Joe, that is the tightest controlled, are NBA games. You don't see fights in the stands at NBA games. You don't see people swearing up and down at NBA games. The NBA game is the most white collar of any of the fandoms out there, and it's policed as such.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have this diehard section, Joe, because they want to have it. They want to have the energy of a soccer game.
This is
but
what Matt was sending us.
They don't want to have the hooliganism of it all.
Matt was sending us the ultras.
Those are ultras. That's what you're gonna see in the basketball game. That's what he wants in the basketball game.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, that section of a soccer pitch is
it's the same.
I understand, but it's hundreds of people being there, right?
Yeah.
Section 114 is not going to dominate the entire Frost Bank Center.
It's not. Look at what they're doing here.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
Look
good.
at what they're doing here, Mike. They have a supporter section, right? And this was sent to us courtesy of a viewer here. And they were saying that they have a supporter section at the soccer venue, right? And that they stand and they support and they chant just like they do at the SAFC games the entire game. And there's a dedicated section. That's what I was saying. It's like it would work better if it was a dedicated section.
It's behind the goalie. They have.
But I'm saying
that's a fun time.
The way they want to do it now, Mike, is that they want to go ahead and say first come, first serve. They want to split the supporters group. And if you're not there early, you're going to go ahead and sit in the HEB fan zone, which is notoriously standing room only anyway.
Middle of nowhere, yeah.
Yeah. Or you're going to be in the section 114 or whatever they're going to put you in. But how do you think it's going to work in the context of, hey, this is going to be a nationally televised game, and you got the supporters there, and they're going to show the camera on there, and you got them throwing fingers and, getting mad and all that kind of stuff.
They're not going to, Joe. The Spurs won't
How
allow
do
it.
you know that? You can't say
You
that.
don't know that.
Matt.
No, fuck off, bro. You don't know that. You really don't
You
know
don't.
that. You don't know that.
You can't
Dude,
control
I
people.
100% know that.
No,
I
you
100% know that, because
you don't.
the Spurs will not allow the Spurs, as long as Greg Popovich is still alive, that will never exist. Okay, and I know he's struggling and whatnot, but I'm just saying, it is still Pop in the front office. It is still the money of Tesla. It is still the money of
Tesla.
It's still the money of Tesla. It's still the money of Airbnb. It ain't gonna happen. Now, if you want to have a fandom, a fan section over there where they're banging drums and all that stuff, and they're chanting and all that stuff, that's great. I 100% support it. But if you think that hooliganism is gonna permeate out of 114 at the Frost Bank Center, they will nip that in the bud in a fucking heartbeat. And
they will, and that'll be the end of the supporter section.
But nobody's going to be there.
No, then somebody else will pay the $1,000 to make it happen, Joe. Somebody else.
There'll be no supporter section.
They're gonna have tryouts, Joe. They're gonna have tryouts, Joe. Come on, man.
They are.
It's gonna look, and I hope you get in.
I don't want to get in, because there's no point. If I can't be what I am, I am Nacio, and I am quote unquote ghetto. Apparently, I am gonna be what I like to do.
Matt, I respect that.
There's no point. But there's no way they're gonna allow any of that. What Wemby wants, what Wemby sees, they're not gonna allow none of that into that section.
We are all ghetto in different ways. I am ghetto in the sense that I go to UTSA football games and I get drunk off my ass like I did this past weekend. Okay, so but look at that, Joe. And this is what I'm trying to say, Matt. And when I use the phrase ghetto, it's all relative to the situation. You go to the SAFC matches, right? I've been behind the bunker a couple of times. I've enjoyed myself out there. It is actually part of the culture to go get a little bit drunk, tailgate, and go do that at a soccer match. It's kind of to be expected a little bit, like boys will be boys. I get that. It's not ghetto to go to SAFC match and go get a little hammered and scream from behind the goalie. It's not. It's actually expected. Not a bad deal. You do that at a college football game. You go to DKR Memorial in Austin. You go to the Alamo Dome. You go to Tiger Stadium in LSU, where people are tailgating for hours at a time leading up to it all, getting a little bit rowdy in the crowd. It's to be expected. So it's not ghetto at a SAFC match or in England where they have the soccer matches, or whether it be at a college football game. It's not. Okay, but what I am saying is, at an MLB or an MLB baseball or an NBA setting, it kind of is. That's what I'm saying.
And it's gonna have to be that way. That's only people who are gonna probably want to try to get in. You don't see nobody from Stone Oak who's gonna want to do that shit.
But we don't know.
They're not gonna dress up in face
They're
garb,
not gonna do none
face
of that.
paint and all that, bro. No,
Dude,
man.
dude, the Stone Oak is all Mexican nationals, baby. I mean, that's
they don't want to paint their face and they don't want to get beer spilled on their man purse, Mike. They're not gonna want that, you know?
Exactly.
Oh, Joe, I got video of me. A friend of mine sent me a video of me being drunk and at the end of the UTSA game. I could be ghetto too. I just do it at the right venue.
You drinking?
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. I'll give you an example. Smoking pot at the Ice Cube concert at the Alamo Dome. It was Ice Cube and Bone Thugs and Harmony. Smoking pot, does that make you ghetto over there? No, because it's part of the
culture.
The
right?
culture of it all.
Part
right?
of the
right,
culture.
Right. But if I was to go smoke pot at a George Strait concert at Frostbank Center, then I'm out of place.
Or if you're in the supporters group at 114 at the Frost Center.
It's literally the same act. It's literally the same act in a different environment. So that's what I meant by ghetto. So I wasn't trying to insult you, Matt. What I was saying is that
I didn't feel insulted at all.
Well, I'm just hoping you weren't. Okay. So it's all about the environment. It's all about the venue of the environment of what's going on. Right? Again, smoking out at an Ice Cube concert, fine. Smoking out at a George Strait concert, not fine. It's the exact same act, though. That's the point I was trying to make.
You're saying it's in the context.
Yes,
what you're getting at. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying, but I think honestly, at the end of the day, man, I don't know if that supporters group is going to work the way that they think it's going to work. You know, they're going to have their tryouts. They're going to tell people to pay $1,000. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there because people are thinking, oh, they're going to pay $1,000. And then on top of that, they have to pay for a ticket. And it's included. It's not really a ticket per se. It's for the ability for you to get there first, to be able to either, if you get there early enough, you're going to sit in 114. If not, you're going to be in the HEB fan zone.
But see, that's where it's weird. When you look in the FAQ about it, there's a point of it where it says it's a ticket and parking in the FAQ section when you keep reading onto it. But at the same time, in the beginning, it says it's not a ticket. So there's they need to do a little bit more of a reword on that. But all right, guys, I actually got to go back. I have to be into a meeting in a little bit, but I just want to chime in on that part.
Hey, man, we appreciate being in. Anytime, brother.
Bro.
Anytime.
Later.
Jonathan C. reaches out to us on our stream, powered by P.F. Chang's La Cantera, saying, ghetto people can't afford to try out a fee of $1,000. Case closed. Joe, you saw the point I was trying to make at the end there. Maybe I hit the nail on the head too late. But, again, if you smoke out at a Dre, Cube, Bone Thugs and Harmony concert at the same venue, and then you smoke out at a George Strait concert or a Shania Twain concert, it's not the same thing. And the NBA is so tight in what they allow in the stands that the idea of Wemby coming out and saying that he wants to have like this rowdy section, it's going to be rowdy within the confines of the rules. It's not going to be rowdy as in they're going to turn it into hooliganism. They're going to allow it simply because you're in section 114 and you paid the $1,000. They're not going to change their ethics and morals because of it all, dude.
Tex makes Frank send his picture, dude, through the media share.
Yeah. Why is my shirt so long?
Oh God, bro, we're all ghetto.
You know, but Joe, I mean, the point I was trying to make to Matt there, and I did, and he said that he wasn't offended. I'll take his word at that. But going to SAFC matches are fun. Being behind the bunker is fun. And they tailgate and they get drunk. That's the point of going. College football is to tailgate and drink and eat before you get in there, and everyone's buzzed walking in. There's nobody going into the Frostbank Center buzzed or drunk. Nobody. There's no tailgating going on.
There's not a tailgate, but you're gonna pregame before you go over there.
Some people do, but I'm saying the percentage compared to a college football game, or the percentage before an NFL. NFL, yeah, Bill's Mafia out in the front, right? They're all jumping on top of tables and whatnot. It's part of the essence of going to a soccer match, part of the essence of college football, part of the essence of NFL football is to get a little wasted.
It's part
do
of
that.
The
do that,
culture.
and it's part of the culture. It's actually expected. And on top of that, the people that run the facilities know that that's happening. It's not expected for there to be a drunk section throwing curse words, swearing up and down, and yelling at opposing fans at a Spurs game. Stop it. Not going to happen.
That'd be cool, though, if they did do that. They get a whole bunch of the people from my side of town, Southwest, West Side, South Side, and round them all up, you know.
Why
get all the poodle people together?
Why do we think that the North Side would not want to participate in that, or Stone Oak, or Alamo Ranch,
they ain't like us. They ain't like us, man. They ain't like us.
Well, Joe, I mean, it's not going to be what they do in soccer matches. It's just not. It's just not. But just know the venue. Know where you're at.
I think what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to go ahead and kind of mimic what's happening with the supporter groups, you know, with soccer, and they want to bring that over, a little bit of that over to the context of an NBA game. And like I said, the idea is either going to be great and it's going to be a huge success, or it's going to be a gigantic flop of epic proportions. We'll see.
And I think it's what the expectations are, Joe, because if you're thinking that it's going to be exactly like a what it is in, I think maybe the expectations are wrong. Maybe the expectations are that it's going to be just like it is in England, and how great it is to be rowdy and get all Necio out there. The NBA don't want Necio fans out there. It is the NBA, Joe, is a white collar entity with white collar fans typically in the lower bowl. That's the way it is. But the NFL is different. The NFL, you have 8 home games, maybe 9.
They always fighting with each other in the stands, man.
The NFL is more blue collar, and it's more Necio, right? And some people say, well, you don't have the real fans down low. You don't have the fans down low. You do have the fans down low. It's just they're not going to do crazy ass stuff, dude. You know why? Because people down low are waiting for their drinks, man. They're waiting for their food. They're on a date, right? People down low are on dates. They're bringing their significant others. They're bringing their kids. They're not going to go over there and get riled up and stuff like that. It's a white collar atmosphere.
Oh, look at this.
Different.
Matt Gomez kind of sent us another video here. I'll show this one. This was at like a basketball game. Look at all this was outdoors though.
What if I told you the best fans are not in the NBA? They're in the EuroLeague, where the fans aren't priced out. In Greece, basketball is not just a sport, it's a representation of our passion, ambition in life. That's why Kevin Durant could not believe his eyes when he attended a game. What did he see, you ask? Thousands of fans, chanting in sync. All this amongst fire and papers being thrown everywhere.
You see, they can't do that here, man. But
they can't. They want even if the Spurs wanted it. And Matt, thank you for sending that.
Well, they said that's indoors. All right.
Even if the Spurs wanted that, the NBA would not allow it. The NBA is not going to allow that, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have these tryouts, and I get all that. They're gonna want to look and see what type of what your character is like. What's your shtick? You know, they have the Spurs Jesus. I'm sure he's gonna try out. He's gonna want to be one of the campeons, a captain or
Yeah.
whatever, leading the chants and whatnot. They shouldn't have that brother anywhere near that supporter section. He's probably gonna charge them to be there. Not the. It's gonna be the other way around. But they're gonna have other fans that are gonna want to try out. I've been a fan forever. I'm puro, Spurs fan or whatever. I don't know how they're gonna go ahead and just say you're in or you're not in, or what they're gonna do to go ahead and like kind of police that whole area. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, to me, it's just they should have just opened that up. They should have just had the HEB fan zone where all the puro, Mexicanos and everybody, the puro fans go and support the Spurs. They run in there because it's not a bad seat. I've done the same thing. I get there super early. I try to get there and get a seat there, and it's a nice view of the court and everything, but there's limited seating, and then you're just standing around if you're not getting a seat. And people are chill, man. Everybody's cool, just chilling out, having a good time.
Well, I
That should have been the supporters section. Like that should have been the rowdy section.
Joe, I think back, and this is not me being 1099 Mike or W2 Mike. Okay, so let me just kind of preface it by saying that we have been Spurs fans our entire lives,
Yeah.
and I remember going to games at Hemisphere Arena, and I remember going to games at the Alamo Dome, and but going back to the Hemisphere Arena, $5 seats to watch to watch the Lakers play the Spurs, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, all that stuff. And you would go to the games. The games were so affordable to go to that we lived in a time, Joe, back then where you could have one income and support a family,
Yeah.
right? And it was easier to go to games, and because it was easier to go to games, and the park and ride was easy, and all that stuff, the community level over there it was basically a team for the entire city, right? It didn't matter what part of town you were from, you could all go. When they're showing that video from England and Germany, right? It's because the Euro League and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are so inexpensive. It's because it's not big business over there. The NBA does not exist. That is minor league based basketball, essentially what it is, right? So it's super cheap to get into the games because they're not paying massive salaries. They're not paying for massive contracts or superstars or anything like that. It's minor league basketball, Joe. And because of that, it's cheap to get in, and you could do stuff like that. The NBA today, and as times have gone off over the last 30 or 40 years, you've seen it become more expensive to go to games. And now you have to be either pick and choose which games you go to. Maybe you don't go to all 41 games. Maybe you pick 5 or 6 because that's all you can afford. Or maybe it's just become just a little bit more white collar when it comes to it all. It's different. What did the NBA do, Joe, back in the day when it came to Allen Iverson? What rules did they institute because of Allen Iverson back in the day?
Oh, they wanted to have what do you call it? A rules placed into effect where they said, you know what, you have to dress a certain way because you're a representative of the NBA. So then they went ahead and changed the attire, right?
Right.
You can't come out in just long, jerseys and jeans. Now they want you to dress business professional, business casual.
You can't be what, Joe? You can't be what? What's the word? There's 2 words I can accept on this one.
Unprofessional?
No, hood or ghetto.
Come on, Mike. Why am I? I wore jersey, so I'm ghetto then, man. All right.
No, the about the players. The players had to come. So now, what do the players walk in with? Right? They wear suits, they wear sweaters, they wear whatever. They have to look a certain way going in there, and it was because of Allen Iverson. That was the dynamic shift, Joe. Because
the dress code,
this section, the way that they had it, like in Europe when they're showing those videos that Matt Gomez showed us, that would have worked in the 70s and 80s. Would have worked in the early 90s, but after Allen Iverson, that ship sailed, dude. Ain't gonna happen. They're gonna want to have diehards out there. They're gonna want them to scream and chant and shake maracas and the clackers and all that stuff, and they all that stuff. That's what they want. Learn some chants, but more of a high school football atmosphere than a European soccer atmosphere. And please give us $999, make it payable to the San Antonio Spurs.
You know, somebody had put in here, I don't know if it was JHNSB or I think it was Hanover Fist, but somebody had put in here that in the comments, wouldn't it be ironic if the Spurs have like thousands of people, super fans, show up right to the arena to try out, and they're like, "Oh no, my brother, you can't come in here and try out unless you put a deposit down for that $999." You know. Oh God, shaking them down. You know, they have all the Spurs reps in the front with the tables ready, you know, like when you go and pick out your season tickets, and they're like, you gotta give your payment now. You gotta give your payment now, and then you make your payment plans and whatnot, you know, and that's what they're gonna do with the supporters group. They have a payment plan for them. They're gonna want half now or half before I think the season starts, and then the other half is due in January.
Yeah,
you know, to sweeten the deal for your $1,000. If you're gonna pay that much, dude, the hell with that supporters group thing. Just go buy season tickets.
exactly.
You know, just go buy season tickets, man.
And speaking of sweetening the deal, and speaking of just putting half down, it is half price wine and bottles of champagne over at PF Chang's. It's Wednesday Wines Day. They power our chat. Let's give some love to PF Chang's La Cantera. Go say hi to our boy Sean out there. They sponsor our show, the Area 210 podcast.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
Man, I tried with that transition, man. I fumbled the ball when it came to all that. But again, go say hi to Sean Quintero. He's one of the big wigs over at PF Chang's La Cantera. Thank you so much for that sponsorship. And I appreciate the lively conversation that we've had today. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys, because the Cowboys 0-1, taking on the New York Giants this weekend. They have 9 days rest for it all, so they'll be healthy. But will they go on to that field with a new player? Because there are reports coming out of Dallas saying that 2014 number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, is at the Star today, meeting with the Dallas Cowboys. Jadeveon Clowney, famously the number 1 overall pick by the Houston Texans a decade ago, played for 6 teams. Most recently, I believe it was Carolina last year. Had a few sacks. Is in his early 30s. He's a defensive end. He still has some wheels on him. Last year was making $10 million a year.
Isn't he everything the Cowboys need?
Kind of, if he can, throw back the clock a little bit. But look at it this way, Joe. When the Cowboys got rid of Micah Parsons, what do? They freed up cap space. They got a former Pro Bowler to come on in as part of the trade. Now they can use some of that cap space to bring in Jadeveon Clowney, so it's not going to cost them anything, just some money. Say worse things have happened, Joe. Jadeveon Clowney is a beast, dude. This is somebody who came out of college from South Carolina as a very heralded guy.
He says Jerry Jones loves him, those old veterans out of their prime. That he does, And then you got some comments coming in. Mexican Junior says Clowney is washed, and Noah Pettis says he's a bust. And we do have an incoming super chat from Jason Garcia.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
Thank you, Jason. We appreciate that. Look what he says, Mike.
Yeah, it says PF Chang's to have that MJ special, wine and cheese for $10.99. Is it because I don't want the Spurs games to get all rowdy? Is that what that is all about?
You don't
By the
want
way,
to get what?
Well, no, Joe. It is a family atmosphere over there, Joe. They're not going to let it go all ghetto over there. They're not. Stop it. By the way, is Jadeveon
Oh.
Clowney a bust? He made 3 Pro Bowls in a row, 2016, 2017, 2018. Played 5 seasons for the Houston Texans, 1 season for the Seattle Seahawks, 1 season for the Tennessee Titans. Went over to Cleveland for a couple of years, played for Baltimore. Then he played for the Carolina Panthers. This could be team number 8 for him. This is a guy who has started 127 of the 140 games he has played. And his career, Joe, 58 sacks. He had 5.5 sacks last year. He had 9.5 sacks the year before that. He is a free agent. I'm just saying that it's not that bad of a deal. Our good friend RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys is very, very supportive of it. Joe, you are a Cowboy fan. What are your thoughts on the Cowboys potentially bringing in Jadeveon Clowney off of waivers, off of free agency?
If they can get him at the right price, sure, why not? But if you're going to go ahead and, we're going to give him a multi-year deal worth, an X amount of money, I'm like, why? He's an older veteran. I get that, but
he's 32.
He's kind of past his prime already, man. On paper, he brings what the Cowboys need, but the thing is, can he go ahead and produce? You're taking a shot on this veteran. He could contribute, or he could be a complete bust, and then you just wasted money. So if you can get him on the cheap, sure, why not try him out? See how it works out. But let's hear from RJ Ochoa, because he had some words about this as well. So let's go ahead and put this up here. And again, this is courtesy of RJ Ochoa.
Justina Anderson reported on Wednesday morning that the Dallas Cowboys are set to host free agent pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney, and this is awesome. Clowney would make a lot of sense for the Cowboys. I remain excited, and I think we all do based on the season opener, about Sam Williams, about Marshawn Nealon. I know Dante Fowler didn't have the best game. I think it's still fair to reserve some judgment there. Donovan Ezuraku clearly playing his first NFL game. There's a lot more to come there. Clowney would help amplify that group. And if I'm being honest, the thing I'm most impressed with here is that the Cowboys are looking into this, that the Cowboys are even considering making a move. Our biggest criticism, my biggest criticism, has been that they generally sit back and chill with regards to things like this. But the fact that they're already working on something, the fact that they've identified something after the season opener that they want to correct, they deserve some serious kudos there. So hopefully Clowney winds up a member of the Cowboys. Again, I think he would bolster a pass rush group that I still have a lot of high hopes for. This is great to see. Again, serious props to the Cowboys. I'm a long ways away from having blind trust in the front office, but they are proving in everything since the Micah Parsons trade to at least be taking things a little bit more seriously.
That's RJ Ochoa on Blogging the Boys. I'm looking at Spotrac.com. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys are sitting on the second most cap space of all NFL teams right now with $39 million. It cost $10 million last year to get Jadeveon Clowney. So if the Cowboys want to overpay him for one season, they've got the cap space to do it, Joe. And I don't think that they're going to overpay him for 3 seasons. But if you want to offer him a 1-year deal for $10 million, you want to offer him a contingent second deal, like a team offer type of thing, team option, if you will, for the second year, why not? You need help on that defense. You need to stop the run. And how do you stop the run sometimes? Closing in the sides, closing in the edges, right? It would not be a bad move. And it would actually be a pretty decent consolation prize for what the Cowboys are trying to do post Micah Parsons.
Hey, look at Tony Ornelas. This is pretty good, Tony. I got to give you props for this one.
Yeah.
Cowboys need a Micah Parsons type of player. Oh God! Look at Hanover Fist says, "I do it for $5 million a year. $5 million 1 year." He says,
even if it's $15 million, it's under the cap space for that 1 year. It's going to come back anyway. They could offer him $30 million. I wouldn't care. It's a good move.
And we'll see, man. Let's see if he can go ahead and produce. That's my thing. I just want to see him come in, and if he does become a member of the Cowboys here and help the team win or get better. That's what we really want. You want to see them be able to be at least more consistent. I think that's been the biggest gripe with Cowboy fans against the team. You have conservative play calling, defense is questionable a lot of times, they can't get it done. The inconsistency when it comes to the play out there on the field. If you can get more consistent, you give yourself a better chance to win games when you're playing against better teams, especially on the road. And what, Mike? On natural grass. That's the kryptonite.
That is a kryptonite. I'm looking at the schedule for the Cowboys right now, taking on the Giants. The Giants, I'm surprised at the spread, Joe. I thought for sure Dallas would be like a big favorite over the Giants. Are playing in Dallas.
Yeah.
5.5-point spread against a Russell Wilson led New York Giants team. I mean,
Wouldn't it be funny?
unless they believe that Malik Neighbors is just going to go off.
Wouldn't it be funny if Russell Wilson laid an egg right in week 1, then comes into
Yeah.
Cowboy Stadium, Jerry World, and
Jerry.
looks like a freaking world beater, bro. Turns back the clock. The
Yeah.
Giants just pummel the Cowboys. I mean, that would be like a worst case scenario. More than likely, though, I think it's going to be an interesting game. It's probably going to be pretty close. It's a divisional game, but I think the Cowboys are just going to be the better team, man.
Mhm.
They have the better quarterback. They got a better, let's say defense, I think, at this point in time. We'll see what happens, man. I think it's going to be close. 5 points. I think they covered the spread.
Can you imagine Russell Wilson pulls up a hammy, and here comes Jackson Dart? Whoa! That'd be so much fun, Joe.
What if he
my
goes and
goodness.
just starts dropping dimes left and right? He outshines Dakota Rain Prescott in Jerry World. Well, that would be the storyline, right, Mike?
That's funny. You know, it wasn't funny. I sent you on the media share a TikTok yesterday of the Bill Simmons podcast. Bill
Oh, yeah.
Simmons still talking about the whole under the table dealings with Kawhi Leonard and Uncle Dennis. I finally saw the podcast where Mark Cuban was on Pablo Torre's pod. Pablo Torre
Yeah.
was the one who broke the news that that he has pieced together the fact that it appears as though the LA Clippers circumvented the salary cap by paying Kawhi Leonard under the table.
Yeah.
And under the table via a different company called Aspire, who paid Kawhi Leonard to do nothing, right? So this is a way of getting him money. Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, has come out and said, well, the richest man in the world, by the way, has said, no, this wasn't me. This wasn't me. I didn't do it. I was conned by all this stuff. Mark Cuban going on there, he was really spirited by saying that there's no way that Ballmer would have done this. But after the conversation with Pablo Torre, formerly of ESPN, it appears as though they kind of met somewhere in the middle. They kind of met somewhere in the middle where Cuban was like, well, maybe it did happen. I don't know. Maybe he was just being foolish. Maybe it was silly. Again, Kawhi's camp accused of asking for things against the rules, like ownership of teams, ownership of other teams, airplanes, houses, all sorts of things like that.
Yeah.
And Kawhi Leonard, this is going to be a mess for the NBA to kind of clear up when it comes to it all. Meantime,
Yeah.
Bill Simmons' podcast is talking about it. And in trying to interpret what was going down or what could have been done to prevent this from blowing up in the Clippers' face, they throw a stray at an HEB San Antonio-based company. Let's hear what they had to say on the Bill Simmons podcast.
And losing draft picks, voiding the contract, whatever it is. This is basically the OJ civil trial versus the OJ trial. You only need to kind of think something happened and have enough evidence to be like, I think that happened, so we're doing this.
The question is how
This
much
isn't an
evidence.
actual trial. We're like, we are proving this indisputably that you did this. I don't think they have to do that for the league to crack down and be like, dude, something smells with this. You gave 50 million to these
Yeah.
guys. He's getting 28 million to do nothing. Like, you can say there's no smoking gun, but something happened here and we're punishing you. And I think that's how this plays out.
It's the 28 million and it's the nothing. Like, if he had just gone out there and done one of those stupid HEB commercials that the Spurs did back in
Yeah.
the day, or if he had posted once a year about his love for eliminating the carbon footprint, we would not be having this particular conversation. I think it comes down to, it either has to be a Timberwolves-like hand of God punishment because they believe that the Clippers circumvented the cap, or it's got to be nothing. They cannot find a middle ground.
Whatever can happen.
HEB catches a stray when it comes to all that.
Yeah.
Basically saying he got paid for nothing. So you can't just say, oh, well, it was a sponsorship. It was legit. Because sponsorships come with sponsorship responsibilities. Appear in a commercial. Do something. Like that meme, Joe.
Yeah.
Do something.
Do something. But this is learned behavior from Kawhi and specifically from Uncle Dennis. So when Kawhi was traded to the Toronto Raptors here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to keep Kawhi, and during the negotiations, Uncle Dennis had famously asked for some type of ownership stake in the Toronto Raptors, or opposing, or not opposing, but other teams, professional sports teams there.
That he also
And
owned.
that they also owned. And he's like, well, what about the Leafs or whatever like that? And they're like, no, we can't, because they're owned by the same person, and he's like, well, let's go ahead and do a sponsorship deal for like 10 mil a year, or 10 mil, and Kawhi does absolutely nothing. So they wanted to go ahead and get a sponsorship deal in place where Kawhi does nothing for that money. And what world does that make sense? If you're going to get paid an X amount of money, you're going to do some work, do something, right? And in this case, this fits all the bill for this behavior that Uncle Dennis had been asking for already from like Toronto and from other teams, and doing other things, when before Kawhi had went over to the Clippers. It seems like he finally got what he wanted, right? He wanted to go ahead and get a sponsorship deal for Kawhi to do absolutely nothing. He got it with the Clippers, right? 28 mil to do absolutely nothing. He got his wish.
But as JHNSB is asking us on our stream here, can he not think for himself?
Apparently not.
Why is Uncle Dennis to blame for everything? Why is he to blame? Like, why doesn't Kawhi Leonard get any blame for any of this? I don't understand that either.
I think at the end of the day, what's going on with Kawhi is that Kawhi does have a voice, right? And I think his voice is Uncle Dennis. Maybe he's speaking through Uncle Dennis. These are Kawhi's
exactly
wishes. These are Kawhi's wishes, and Uncle Dennis is like, this is what he wants. And I'll look like the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy, and I'll go in there because I'm gonna get my money. But this is what Kawhi wants. This is what he actually thinks.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe that too, man. I believe that Kawhi is not like this special needs guy who doesn't know what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on. The idea that because he's soft spoken makes him like oblivious to it all doesn't make any sense to me, Joe. Joe, we sucked last week when it came to our spread picking.
Washington let me down, bro.
We were
Washington, but the Giants.
I believe we were 7-9 each on all that, Joe. So let's give our picks for this week. Commanders taking on the Green Bay Packers on the road. So Packers home team coming off a big win over the Detroit Lions. Commanders coming off a big win over the New York Giants. The spread is 3.5. Who you got? Do you want me to go first on that one?
Nah, I'll go ahead and go first. I got Green Bay all day, every day. Every day.
Green Bay on both money line and on spread. It's looking pretty good. Jaguars coming off a loss to the Carolina Panthers, taking on the Bengals.
Jags, didn't they win?
Oh, right. Yeah, but they beat the Carolina Panthers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Big day by Trevor Lawrence that day. On the road against the Cincinnati Bengals, who barely beat the Cleveland Browns by 1. Bengals here by 3.5. Give me the Bengals on that one. It's a home game.
I'd take the Bengals as well. I think they cover the spread.
You and I both believe the Cowboys will cover the spread and beat the Giants, so we have that similar.
Yeah.
The Bears and Lions, both 0-1. Lions favored by 5.5.
I got the Lions, man. There's no way that the Bears going to beat the Lions, man.
I got them both ways, too. The Rams taking on the Titans. Titans have Cam Ward as quarterback, formerly of UIW. The Rams beat the Texans in week 1. Rams favored by 5.5 against the Titans.
I think I like that. Those odds there. I take the Rams over the Titans.
I hate the fact that you and I are both believing the same way. We have 2 0-1 teams. The Patriots on the road against the Dolphins. Patriots typically own the Dolphins. The Dolphins had a poor performance in week 1. Patriots got their ass handed to them by the Raiders. Spread is 1.5 in favor of the Dolphins. Basically, it's a pick 'em. Give me the Patriots on this one.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. I got the Pats. I think they're going to be the better team in week 2.
The Saints trying to go 0-2 at home. One of the ones that we got last week, by the way.
They know the assignment.
Home game against the Niners. Niners coming in 1-0. Niners here by 4.5. Give me the Niners. This is It's a 2-15 season for the Saints.
Yeah, give me the Niners, bro, all day, every day. The Saints know what they're doing, Mike. They're gonna make it interesting and be like, we know the assignment.
Yeah.
We know the assignment. Let's throw this one.
Joe, go up to my Twitter account.
Yeah.
And you'll see the head coach, the new head coach of the New York Jets, up on stage.
Oh, God.
His name is Aaron Glenn, right? Aaron Glenn's the head coach. He cut Xavier Gibson, the punt returner / wide receiver, because he fumbled the ball in the fourth quarter that led to the loss for the New York Jets. We're bringing this up because the Jets are have a game this weekend. They're taking on the Bills. The Bills coming in 1-0. The Jets trying to not go 0-2. The Jets lost a very, very close game to the Steelers. Here's a reaction from Aaron Glenn, the head coach of the Jets, after cutting Xavier Gibson, who, by the way, went to Stephen F. Austin. This is what he had to say.
The one thing to me that had to turn this game is, man, we can't have turnovers. We can't do it. We have to be a more disciplined team, right? There were some penalties that happened in that game that was true discipline issues. And, again, that's something that will be addressed because you will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that. So we will get that addressed.
So what's his name? Gone.
Gone, dude. Brutal, man. Fumble, gone. And Xavier Gibson, by the way, had been on the team for 4 seasons. He wasn't somebody that was like a just picked up free agent or undrafted free agent or whatever the case may be. He had him gone.
Look, Coach Gio says he also had 11 fumbles in over 30 games. Damn.
So who do we got? The Bills here by 6.5 against the Jets. I'm going to take the Jets covering the spread, but the Bills winning. And the reason is hangover game for Buffalo. They're going to take it not as serious compared to the Ravens. That 41-40 game.
I still got the Bills winning. I still got them beating the Jets.
But who do you have covering the spread?
I think the Bills will cover the spread.
Okay, that's at 6.5.
Yeah.
Seahawks on the road against the Steelers. We saw Aaron Rodgers throw for 4 touchdowns. Steelers fair by 2.5. Man, can you imagine Aaron Rodgers being 2-0? Geno Smith, big game.
I think he is going to go 2-0. I got Steelers over the Sea Chickens, man.
You know, that's interesting. I'm thinking about Geno Smith. Wrong team. That's Sam Darnold, right, with Seattle, right, these days, if I'm not mistaken. Give me Aaron Rodgers, man. I cannot believe I'm picking Aaron Rodgers in this situation. Browns and their defense with no offense going up against the Ravens. Ravens here by 11.5.
Oh man,
the best offense against one of the best defenses.
This one is going to be a tough one for me because I don't think it's going to be exciting. I think both teams are going to be able to go back and forth with each other on the defensive end. You know, they're not going to have much offense going on, but I think the Ravens are going to be better when it comes to actually point production, you know, putting points up there. So I got to go with the Ravens over the Browns, probably by 3.5.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Ravens with the spread as well. I know
What's
11.5 points, 11.5.
Nah, bro, it's going to be less than that, man.
Maybe a hangover game for both of them. I just think the Ravens are going to come out pissed. Colts hosting the Broncos. Daniel Jones resurrecting his career with a big game. Going up against Bo Nix and the Broncos. Give me the Colts. It's a hard place to win. And I mean, don't be wrong. Sean Payton is a great manipulator of the defensive side of the ball. But there's something about that Colts team that just seems right. I like the Broncos, though, but give me the Colts to win that game and cover the spread.
I like the Colts. You know, Daniel Jones looked good last week, but I still got to go ahead and give the nod to the Broncos, man.
Panthers at Cardinals. Cardinals were by 6.5 points. Cardinals coming off a win in New Orleans. Panthers looked like awful against the Jaguars. Give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that one, Mike. Give me the Cardinals.
Now, speaking of which, have you seen Marvin Harrison Jr.?
No, what do you do?
Okay, let me see if I can get if I can get you a photo. They're making fun of him online. I'm going to send this to you right now.
Okay.
Let me see here. Let's share this at the Area 210 podcast. So it's just an image. Remember David Boston back in the day for the Arizona Cardinals? He was like a fantasy stud for 2 or 3 seasons. When you think about a wide receiver's body, what do you think of? Like, just describe a wide receiver's body.
The big guy, tall,
lanky, right? Like CeeDee
lanky,
Lamb.
yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, right? A little
Tall,
muscular.
They're thin, tall, athletic,
Okay. Marvin Harrison, who was a first-round draft pick last year, who struggled last year, had a pretty good game to start his second season, but they're making fun of him a little bit because, and I sent you a photo of him, he bulked up over the weekend. And are you used to seeing a wide receiver this jacked? Okay, I know it's a small photo, but even here, by looking at this photo, you can see he gained 10 to 12 pounds of pure muscle, and his arms are huge. How often do you see a wide receiver with huge arms like that, like tree trunks?
Hey, man, as long as the brother can catch the ball, what does it matter, dude? He's just going to be hitting people and, just pushing them off of him. Get off me, flea. Get out of here.
He had 71 yards and a touchdown last week. Give me the Cardinals beating Carolina. Who do you got, Carolina or the Cardinals?
No, I got the Cardinals, bro. Carolina's garbage. I mean,
what about the spread? 6.5.
Panthers are garbage, bro.
Covering the spread, 6.5.
Cardinals, sure, man. I got them covering the spread.
Give me the Eagles winning and covering the spread, and Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce going 0-2. Eagles, Chiefs. Who you got?
I got the pinche lechuzas cagadas, dude. I got the freaking Eagles, man.
All right. Falcons, Vikings, Sunday night game. Vikings here by 4.5 points. They came out of nowhere and got that win against the Bears on Monday night. Falcons blew that game against the Buccaneers. Vikings are by 4.5. I'm going to take the Falcons with the upset.
No, man. I'm going with the Vikings, dude. Falcons are just going to lay down, dude. They're going to choke it away again.
We got 2 Monday night games. Buccaneers and the Texans. Texans are by 2.5 points. I'm sorry. I'm going to bet the mortgage the Buccaneers just roll all over the Texans on this game.
Baker Mayfield, baby. He's a winner.
All he does is win. And then the last Monday night game, you got the Raiders hosting the Chargers in Las Vegas. Raiders and Chargers both coming out are both 1-0. Chargers with extra rest. Favored by 3.5 points. Chargers after winning that game there in Brazil against the Chiefs. Give me the Chargers winning that game and covering the spread.
Yeah, I got you with that one too, man. The Raiders are garbage, dude. I got the Chargers are a better team.
You and I agreed with a lot, though, man. Go ahead and read that one. I'm not going to read it.
He says, Elias says, Mike loves when the NFL teams wear light-colored pants. He says, ooh, chica, I can almost see through them. No, bro. Ooh, dude. Jeff's going to get a screenshot of this, and he's going to put it up there cooked.
So that's a shot back for my boy Gomez. Was I rude, Joe? Was I rude?
You were rude, man.
I wasn't trying to be rude.
You called him ghetto to his face, bro. You need to send him a what do you call it? A fruit basket or something, man.
Bunch of coconuts is what I'll send him, right?
Oh,
I wasn't trying to be rude. I was
man.
just saying there's a time and place for everything. So earlier in the show, we were talking about the new fan section at the Spurs games. Got auditions are this weekend, tryouts, if you will. $999 is what's required to be part of this new fan section. And it's going to have chants and drums and all that stuff, and it's going to be something different, right? Matt came on our show and thought that it was going to be a section that potentially, maybe it's his desire, I don't know if he thought it was going to happen, but the desire to have it be more rowdy, more in-your-face fandom that you would see at a soccer match, or that you would see at certain NFL games, where they cuss a lot, they shout a lot, they go after the opposing fans and all that stuff. And I was just trying to say that doesn't happen at the NBA, because the NBA, as I said, was not ghetto. And I was saying there is a time and place to be ghetto, but an NBA game is not it.
A parking
And
lot at the Alamo Dome is a time and place to be ghetto before the
Kinda.
UTSA game.
It is. Everyone else is doing it, so why not us? So that's what I'm saying, Joe. There are like literally dozens of sections at the Frost Bank Center. You're not going to have one ghetto section and the rest of them being okay. You either do it all or nothing, dude. Do it all or nothing, man. There's no tailgating at Spurs games. There's no we're going to show up to be rowdy, because where does the rowdiness come from, Joe? It's alcohol fueled.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And look at that, man. UTSA Athletics. They got a new sponsor here, man. I'm gonna
Right.
share this. I'm gonna share this on screen. It says BMW of San Antonio becomes the presenting sponsor of the UTSA Athletics Hall of Fame. How about that, man? Moving on up.
Oh,
Moving
I
on
know.
up.
And what does BMW stand for? Big Mexican woman.
Oh, Lord.
Oh no, Joe.
Why, Mike?
I'm kidding.
What are
Joe,
you doing?
Joe, it was so funny, man, because when I used to referee high school basketball, and I'm not doing it anymore, I might have retired because my knee went out earlier this year, but it's better now. But I don't want to risk it. They would oftentimes ask. They would call me up for a late minute game, whatever. They're like, "Hey, we need a BMW over at Sam Houston High School. We need a BMW over at Alamo Heights. We need a BMW over at Reagan. A BMW over at Memorial High School." What did BMW stand for, Joe? A black guy, a Mexican guy, and a white guy. They wanted a black official, a Mexican official, and a white official, because if it was an all-black team going up against an all-white team, all Hispanic team going up against an all-black team, they didn't want there to be 3 black officials, 3 white officials, 3 Mexican officials. They wanted it to be one of each. We need a BMW. So whenever I see BMW, that's what I think of, Joe.
Mario Cavazos is laughing at you. He goes, "Este vato." Mike, you just serving up gold to get cooked today, dude. I think you know you were gonna get cooked early on in the show, and you just embraced it, man. You're just like, F it.
Maybe I'm just an asshole. I don't know, Joe. Much love to
man.
everybody. Much love.
Well, you know, when you come to the Area 210 podcast, you know, and you get invited here as a guest, you might get called ghetto to your face by Mike, you know?
Joe, I wasn't trying to be rude, Joe. I'm just saying, it's a time and place to be ghetto. It's kind of like for women who dress, kind of provocatively, right? You can
Jeez.
do that at the club, but you can't do that at HEB or at church. There's a time and place. It's the exact same outfit, different place. That's all I'm saying, Joe. It is appropriate and sexy in one area, and it is ghetto in another area. It just depends on where you are. Like me being drunk at a Spurs game is different than me being drunk at a college football game, which is different than being drunk at a soccer match. It depends on the scenario, Joe. You can't take all sides. You can't go off and be like that at a tennis match or at TPC for the Texas Open. You can't. Every venue has its rules. Seriously, Joe. Although Chica did tell me the other day, Joe, this is a Chicaism.
Chicaism.
We were watching the U.S. Open, and I didn't watch a lot of it because I used to be really big into watching the Wimbledon and U.S. Open and French Open, Australian Open, all that stuff. And one of the players, and one of the American female players, was complaining that there was a woman in the stands with a crying baby. And she goes, she stopped the match, told the official. The official then had to tell the woman who had a baby in this long-ass match to leave the site, get away from the stadium, right? So Chica's watching this, not even paying attention to the game, the match at all, but is watching this and saying, did she just throw out a kid? A crying baby? Why can't she just serve? And I told Chica, I was like, well, in tennis, it has to be quiet when you serve. And it's the same way in golf. You can't be cheering or yelling or going, woo, miss it. You can't do that at golf. And she goes, huh. So you can't boo at White Sports. That's what Chico said. And I was like, I never put it together that way. He goes, the wider the sport, the quieter you got to be. And it was so funny. I was like, you can't do that at diving. You can't do that at whatever. But it was so funny. But Chico was making fun of that. Oh, where'd you go, Joe?
I'm still here.
I'm still here.
I'm still here, Guapo.
Tony Ronaldo says, San Antonio's a poor city. Mike Jimenez needs this as a shirt. No, we need to shut up Gina. No. And Joe, I found out, Joe, that my house in San Antonio is not going to be sold till like November.
Jeez.
Which means I get to keep my voter registration there so they can vote for the proposition ballots.
You know what? If you're going to go ahead and, you need a sign to put in the front yard. Look at that. This is courtesy of Jacob Eric Cassiano, man. He's got a whole bunch of these. Vote yes to Proposition A and B. I got to go to that website so I can get one.
I respect it. House. I respect it. But that is too wordy of a sign, whoever designed it. It's just too wordy. It's just a little bit too much.
Maybe put just vote yes to Proposition A and B.
Go Spurs, go. That's all I should have said.
Shut up, Gina. Go Spurs, go.
Yeah.
I need to go get me one of those, man. I'm going to go ahead and sign up so I can put one in the front yard. I'm sure somebody will steal it. You know, somebody, they're going to be of a certain age, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the city to change.
Sham Sharania with an interesting tweet just right now.
What did he say?
Of now ESPN, formerly of The Athletic. And I like this, by the way, Joe. The NBA will implement a new change for the 2025-2026 season. Unsuccessful end-of-period heaves. You know, whenever you see a player try to make a three-pointer with half a second to go and they chunk it 80 feet, it counts against their stats, right? That's a missed three-point attempt. Say that beginning in the 2025-2026 season this year, unsuccessful end-of-period heaves will now be recorded as a missed field goal attempt for the team, but no longer the player. Sources tell ESPN. Those long heaves will no longer impact an individual player's percentages. I like it. Now, what they got to do is retroactively adjust other people's stats, right? I mean, because now we truly know what it's like. I mean, think about it this way. You have De'Aaron Fox go 2 for 5 from 3, but at the end of a quarter, chunk it 60 feet. In a desperate attempt to make a shot at the end of the quarter. Why should that count against his stats? I like this rule change, Joe. What do you think?
I think it's good. I mean, why should it count against their stats it's the end of a quarter, end of a half, and you're just chunking the ball up?
Yeah, you know? I now they have to define what a heave is, right? Because to me, a heave is beyond half court. If you're shooting from 35 feet and you're 10 feet away from three-point line, I say count those. But I think beyond the line is cool. Samson is against that. Our Apache reaches out and says, "What if it goes in? Is it a team three-pointer?" I think it's a win-win scenario for the player, man.
Look at that. He says, "Agree, Sam." They agree with Sam. Stupid rule. Player takes the shot. Should count as their stat.
check out this post I put down. I just retweeted. It says NBA players at the end of every quarter now. And it shows our girl, Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum heaving it.
Thanks for a second.
It's NBA players at the end of every quarter.
Yeah, dude, I forget she has a cannon, dude. Look at that.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's funny, Joe. That's funny. Joe?
We didn't show the video. Need to show the video. You're always talking about Britney Spears and whatnot. I was making fun of Britney, and look at this girl.
Oh, yeah, this was great.
This chick is singing in the car probably has like, I don't know how she even got the video of her singing, maybe dash cam or what have you. But she's singing to Britney Spears, and look what happens to her.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
She flipped the whole car over. Like, damn.
Did she get hit or did she just flip it over?
She flipped the car. She lost control of the car. She probably was coming down the road and didn't see that there was probably a sharp turn. So she was just coming way too fast. She slams on the brakes. Car goes skidding, and she just loses control and it just flips over.
Yeah, that's funny, dude. That's funny. That's what she gets. Joe, last night I did something silly. Well, no, it wasn't last night. It was yesterday afternoon. I'm a big fan of the comedian. Oh my God, Barbosa, Ralph Barbosa.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of him. Chica likes him a lot as well. He's performing at the Majestic Theater on December 19th, right? The week before Christmas. I'm on Facebook yesterday, and I knew that he had a show on December 19th, and it was already pretty much sold out at the Majestic. Right? The only seats left were like the nosebleed seats. And I saw a Facebook post that he posted. He goes, "Just announced new show. Buy your tickets." And I looked at the Facebook page, and it said just posted 3 minutes ago. So I actually have that saved on my phone, the Majestic Theater, for buying the tickets. And I went on there, Joe, all the tickets were available except for like a few dozen. Like they were all there. So there I am going, well, crap. Let me go get these tickets, right? I'll tell Chica we're going to go, get her excited, whatever. I bought 2 tickets for $70 each, front and center, Joe. I think 6th row. I'm all excited. It's got 6th row seats, $70 each. And then I remember that Chica booked us a trip for December. So now I'm sitting on 2 Ralph Barbosa tickets on the 6th row. So what do? I go on StubHub, SeatGeek to see how much they're going for. Those exact seats on SeatGeek and StubHub with 10.0 ratings are going for $250 a pop. I might just have to scalp them.
There you go. Flip them.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's saying that I said that he sucked on Hulu. He did suck on Hulu this past special, but all the other specials he's had have been pretty good, man. You know, you talk about TikTok comedians. I saw Jeff R. Curry perform, and there's something to be said about like the comedians that have a lot of material versus the ones that do the audience interaction. Jeff R. Curry did a fantastic show at the Tobin. Chica was not like, I would show Chica like the clips of him on TikTok. She didn't find him to be funny at all, but she went because I was wanting to go watch it. She enjoyed it. She thought that Jeff R. Curry was amazing.
You know, they have another comedian out here. He's a güero, right? He looks like a white dude, man, but he's part Mexicano, and they call him the Polar Bear. And he's pretty funny too, man. He comes through here every once in a while, and he usually goes to that Laugh Out Loud comedy club that's out there by San Pedro, you know, North Star Mall area out there. I might check him out again if he comes through San Antonio.
What's his name again?
I don't know. They call him the Polar Bear. I've seen him, you know, some of his skits that come out, and they have him on social media, like Instagram. I think I've seen him on there. I don't know what his real name is. I'm going to go look him up right now. I think this is him. John Gonzalez. Yeah, John Gonzalez. He's known as the Polar Bear. And I'm telling you, man, the guy just looks white as hell, man, but he's part Latino. So he says, you know, he makes fun and pokes fun, you know, that they don't think I can talk Spanish. And then he'll break in and just like talk in Spanish, and his puro side comes out. So this is the guy right here. He's pretty funny, man. If you've never seen him before.
He does look white, dude.
Yeah, but his name is John Gonzalez. So he's part Latino, dude. He's funny, dude. It's funny. He's a funny bit.
Joe, should I go and do high school basketball over again? I think I'm done,
No.
Joe.
No, man, your knee's telling you done, bro.
My mind is telling me no, but my body.
You don't need to do that no more. You're already making more money, brother. You don't need to do that.
Adam Schefter is reporting right now on ESPN that the game between the Broncos and the Vikings is going to be interesting because it's JJ McCarthy and Michael Penix squaring off again. They met in the national championship the last time they met. That's pretty cool. Trying to see if there's anything new involving the Packers signed Christian Watson to a 1-year extension. The Steelers making some moves today, Joe. They signed Jabril Peppers. That's an old name. Joe?
You could rep in a wheelchair, Mike. That's what Mexican Junior is saying.
Joe, I have this one official that I officiated with, Joe, that couldn't talk.
For real, bro?
Legitimately couldn't talk. I think it's because he was either deaf or something, and I officiated with this guy. He had on his hand.
Oh, God, you froze. Somebody needs to get that screenshot of Mike. Let's see if I can quick enough to get it here. Damn, I don't have my snipping tool here. That's a great picture of Mike. I'm going to have to send this over to Jeff. We got to save this one. This one's going into the archives. Let me put the date on here. Next time we have Jeff Garcia on, which I'm going to reach out to him, have him on next week. Hopefully we can go ahead and use that as his picture. That was a great photo of you, by the way, dude. I was quick with it. I got it, man.
Oh, was I like this?
No, you were frozen with your hand up like that.
Like Woodle.
Yeah, I'm sending that to Jeff Garcia, bro. When we get him on here, hopefully next week, I'll have him use that as your avatar, as his avatar.
Why are people blaming my internet? Why isn't it your internet, Joe?
It's not my internet. I got a hardwired connection. I don't have Wi-Fi here, bro. I do in the studio, but when I'm working or I'm live streaming, everything's hardwired. You know, you need to get rid of that T-Mobile Wi-Fi, dude, internet or whatever.
Well, what we ended up doing, it's been working better since we moved it away from where it was. We had it tucked in a corner over here. We moved it to the middle of the living room, so it's been working a little bit better, man.
No, that's
I called T-Mobile about it, and they're like, "That's the strongest signal that we have." I don't know,
because it's garbage, dude. Hey, man is freezing on his cricket internet. He's got the ethnic internet.
Joe, Thursday and Friday, Joe, do we have a guest host for tomorrow?
I don't know, man, because tomorrow I might actually be busy doing training again for my job. They were talking to us to yesterday, and they were sending us some information this morning. I got to log in here and check and see what we got to do, because we have some training that we got to do. So I might not be available tomorrow, but Friday I'm going to line up a guest for sure. I'll probably have Spernandez on, and maybe somebody else. We'll see who else can join us. But yeah, tomorrow I might be out myself due to training.
We got to figure out next week. Not sure exactly how that's going to pan out. I have my training for work Monday and Tuesday happens to be in San Antonio. So if it's an area where I can do a show or pop in, I'm going to try to jump in, but Monday and Tuesday is going to be kind of rough for me. So we might have to go on hiatus for a little while, but we'll be back obviously on Friday. Yeah. Friday, I can probably do a segment or two on Friday. So I'll be able to do a little something when it comes to that. We'll have the results.
What I can do.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, man.
I'll see what I can do. I'll reach out to the peeps, see who wants to come out, maybe Monday, Tuesday. It'd be fun to get like Matt Lerma on again, or Elias, my boy Elias on or something, but he's got work too. So I'll reach out and find out.
We'll extend the invitation to Matt Gomez as well, man. He's welcomed on this show, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
I hope I did not offend. Joe.
Got to send him a fruit basket or something, Mike. Come on.
No, he's a big boy. He manned up on it. It was good. He wasn't hurt. It was good.
The butt hurt was strong in the voice, bro.
I did not say that. You said that, Joe.
You hurt
But
his feelings, bro.
oh no, Joe, no, man. He's
Pobrecito, bro.
fine.
He was just
He's
coming on
fine.
here to talk, and you calling him ghetto, bro. No, Miss Mike.
No, I called the people who do certain things ghetto at certain places.
I appreciate you, Matt Gomez.
Again, you can wear the mini skirt to the club, but you can't wear that same mini skirt to church.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. We got to pray. Lord, please help Mike make more money so he can get better internet. He keeps freezing on
Next
that
time I
cheap
see you,
internet.
I'll get some drinks. And Joe, we should talk about that, Joe.
Now I can't hear you. That internet's garbage, bro. You got to ditch it, man.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. It's the internet, bro.
What I was saying, Joe, is that we need to have a get together for this show again. And it's got to be a fall get together. I think one get together a quarter, one get together a season. The get together needs to be maybe a Spurs watch party. That's what we need to do.
Spurs watch party somewhere, dude. Get it.
When they have a road game, because if it's a home game, people are going to go to the game, right? Some people are going to go to the game.
We still have to have a happy hour. I want to have a happy hour. I want to have the happy hour at PF Chang's, and that way we can have the Nestios kind of get together during that happy hour. It's great at PF Chang's, especially the weather's getting better. We can be outside in that little patio area they have there, having some drinks, having a good time. The second thing is I wanted to get together again, and maybe this time go give some love to our boy Jason out there at the Mad Pecker Brewing Company over off of Culebra, since they reopened again. And I've been meaning to get down there, dude. We need to go back down there.
Chica and I are looking at property in various areas, dude. I would like to get back closer to San Antonio. Maybe not in the 210, but in the 830 is what we're looking at there. Getting closer and closer. We saw some property the other day, Joe, just driving around. We were out in God, what area was that? Kind of like close to Divine.
Yeah.
Can you picture me, Joe, with some land and a couple of chickens?
No.
No, you can't
Not
picture.
at all.
You picture me as in the residential neighborhood in a cul-de-sac someplace, but you can't picture me getting land and having a couple of goats.
I can't do that. That doesn't seem like your style. Like, I mean, I can see you out in the country, but like with livestock, no, man. I'm not. No offense, Mike. No offense, but you don't look like the kind of dude that's kind of handy. Like you can build your own stuff. You know?
Okay, Chica's a rural gal, to be honest with you, but
yeah,
I'm not saying have like 30 cows, but what I'm saying is maybe have some chickens and roosters around the yard. I've told
Chica
Chica
homestead exemption.
Chica was like, wants to get a house with like a 1 acre lot, a half acre lot. And I'm like, no, Chica, I want 3 acres minimum, 10 maximum. And she's like, okay, make it happen. Make it happen. She's selling her house. I'm selling my house.
See, the thing is,
deposit, a little bit of a down payment,
man. If you get chickens, people always get, oh man, the chickens. Chickens, they become cannibals at some point, because then you'll have, as they get older, they get like they lose their minds, man, and they start just pecking the other chickens to death. So that you got to make the hard decision, Mike, and you got to be like, take them to the woodshed and chicken dinner, you know. And that's part of the hard part of raising livestock. You're not out there to, you know, have livestock as pets. They're out there for a reason, man. You raise them for slaughter, bro.
The reason for it, they're there to get me my exemption, dude. That's what it is. Tony says Chica's from Austin. Chica went to high school in Austin, but it was like the outskirts of Austin. She actually grew up a lot in Midland. So she's a Midland, Odessa gal.
Yeah, I can't see you raising horses, man. Horses are a lot of work, dude.
Oh, I know that, Joe. I owned 2 horses back in the day, but I never had any possession of them because I had 2 horses at Retama Park. Ever tell that story, Tall Tale?
No.
I owned
You had
two
some
horses.
ponies that were racing or what?
I had two racing horses at Retama Park. I owned 50% of one, and I owned 25% of the other. And I used to go to Retama Park. I had my owner's badge that got me into the owner's area. My horses did well enough to pay for their own services, so I wasn't out of pocket too much. I think I dropped in the whole year maybe $6,000 or $7,000, maybe not even that, probably 4 or 5. But it was fun. It was fun times. One was named Shadow Master. The other horse was named Canal, and they finished third, fourth, or fifth pretty much every time. They never won, but they did well enough to pay for most of their upkeep. And I would go there. I'd go there at 4 in the morning, Joe, on Saturday to go hang out with the trainers and go hang out with the farm hands out there, the ranch hands out there. I'd bring them all breakfast and a bunch of tacos and all that stuff. It was good times, man. That was back in 2006, 2007, back in the day.
Mike VIP at horse racing.
So I like going to the horse. I like going to the ponies, dude. I do well whenever I bet on the horses.
I remember that one time I went to Retama Park with the family and my cousin Melissa. Nobody wanted to pick up Melissa because they're like, she doesn't know how to bet on the ponies, this and that. So I said, come over here, girl. I got you, man. My little cousin Melissa. She wasn't little. She was like maybe 16 at the time or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, Missy. I said, what are we gonna pick, man? She picked these horses on the way they looked. Well, I like the one with the spots. He looks like a winner. Or I like this one. He's prancing. I'm like, you know what? F it, dude. I'm already drinking. I don't care. Just pick whatever. Dude, we freaking hit.
That's
and
funny.
I told her, if we win, I'll give you half. And I was a man of my word. We won some money that night, and I gave her half. And I still had money to go out and have fun with my cousins afterwards and pay for the bar tab. So it was a good night.
That's funny, Joe. I'm looking at I like the Jesse A's comment there. Mike's horses were just dudes, not generational. It was my horse. I was literally a co-owner of a horse. Joe, we should do that, Joe. We should have an Area 210 horse. Where everyone, instead of everyone pitching in $1,000 to become a Spurs fan, right? The Spurs fan section.
Yeah.
Everyone pitching $1,000. We'll go buy a horse for $7,000 and we'll race the son of a bitch.
$7,000. You know what I miss? I miss the HEB horse racing they had back in the day. Where you'd go when I was a kid. I remember going with my tias and my mom. We'd go to the HEB on the south side because my grandma's house was out there. So we go out there, go get some groceries or what have you. And then at the checkout, depending on how much you spent, they used to give you these little scratch off cards. And when you would scratch them off, you would go ahead and play a game. And they had horse racing that would happen before, I think it was Hee Haw would come out. So everybody in the whole family would get together and they would scratch off their little card to see what horse you're gonna have in the race, and hopefully they win. Because then if your horse would win, then you would win something from HEB, whether it be, I don't know, some type of food or a discount or something. You would win something, But that was fun times back in the day. It was betting, horse racing, but without it being like a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love horse racing, dude. You bet on the trainer, bet on the jockey. The horses are pretty much all the same, Joe. There's just better trainers than others, better jockeys than others.
Yeah.
I'm really a big fan of all that. I miss Retama Park in its heyday. Ever since that tornado ripped right through it, man. Isn't it crazy that a tornado ripped right through it all?
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna have to do here? I think I'm gonna go. I don't know if it's open this weekend or not, but my little nieces have been hitting me down already again, man. They're like, Uncle, they have this drive-through where it's over here by Trader's Village.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you drive through and they have the lights and it's all themed.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween themed. And they have music and all that. And they all wanted me to get them in the caddy and take them over there. So I'm probably going to have a freaking car full of little girls again, my little nieces, loaded up in there and then taking them out there to go see this thing.
This weekend, I'm checking out a U.S. Marine Corps graduation in South Carolina. So I'm flying out there tomorrow morning. I'll be back on Sunday. I'll be in San Antonio Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Probably do the show at the studio on Wednesday, Joe, with you over there.
Nice.
But I'll be at the Grand Hyatt doing some training sessions over there. The company that owns my firm, or my broker dealer, if you will, is having its event over there. Yay.
That was the pick that we got of you, man.
Yeah.
I have it there too. That's when you froze on us. Everybody was quick. Oh my God. They're saying you had put money on a horse, that you owned 50% in a horse. Somebody
Yeah.
sent this via the media share.
I remember those, Joe.
Oh God. Yeah,
I
we got to
remember.
call it already, dude. I didn't know how long we were going on. I was
Hour
like, damn.
50.
50, dude. Damn. We did
Can-
2
can-
shows in one.
Can I tell you a story about horse racing real fast, Joe?
Yeah.
One of the jockeys that we had on there was God, what was his name? Javier, something like that. I forgot what his name. Something like that. It was like Javier, something like that. And he's about to go race, and these jockeys are like 5 foot, 100 pounds, right? They're tiny, right? I said, "Let's go, Javier." What something like that. It spooked him. He went sideways on the horse because I scared him and the horse. Apparently, my voice is too loud, Joe. My voice is too loud.
Some ethnic name. Javier.
Javier, some ethnic Latino name. Oh, that reminds me, Joe. Oh, I don't know if we have time, Joe. My daughter Gabby sent me a TikTok that I thought was hysterical. It was saying that Latinos, when they name their kids after biblical characters, they go after the main characters, and that whenever you see a white or a black guy name their kids a Christian character name, it's always like this secondary name. It's always like, this secondary name that it's like somewhere hidden in the Bible. But he was like, but Latinos, nah, man, they'll name their kid Jesus. They'll name their kids Angel. They'll name their kids, like Maria. It's like Latinos name their Christian names are like, Paul. It's like the main character, John, Juan. It's the main characters. He goes, but blacks and whites, when they name their kids, it's like Jacob. It's like it's like further along in the Bible, at the back end of the Bible.
They probably got 12 kids. Just give them the 12 apostles' names.
It's Luke.
Jeez.
That's not funny, but he was like, but man, Latinos go all out for the main characters, man. Jesus. Because Angel's not even a name. It's something, it's a being, I thought that was funny, Joe.
Gee, that's my sister-in-law's name, Angel, dude. She's mean as hell.
Yeah. Hannah Fist saying Ezekiel. That's exactly it. Like Zeke Elliott, right? That's the back end of the Bible, right? That's hidden in page, 305, Tony and Allison, let's get the show going to 12:15. Let's make it happen, Joe.
Jeez, man, I gotta go, man. I gotta get ready to log in here, see if everything's working today, because we had problems with stuff not working, and I gotta log in to start some training before I start work. So yeah, we gotta call it.
Right. Well, everybody, don't forget to go get the merch. The merch is on the YouTube page as well. So very nice. Everyone have a fantastic day. There's a QR code to buy the merch. Area 210. I got to get a couple of those shirts, man. I don't have the one with the Alamo. I need to go get me one of those.
That one's a nice one, dude.
Yeah. Everyone have a fantastic day. The show hopefully will continue tomorrow. Friday with Fernandez, and I'll probably jump in for a couple of segments on Friday as well. Everyone have a fantastic day, and everyone, Tony Ornelas will end the show with a perfect comment. Great show. It was not ghetto.
We'll see you boys maybe on Friday, man.
All
We're
right,
out. Peace.